Friends, here is 4 mountain bike hacks that I use regularly without thinking. Like they aren't novelties. Okay, first is taking a chain off of a bike that has a quick link without this tool. Okay, so if you're unfamiliar, most chains these days, especially the higher speed ones, will come with a quick link in it like this. This is used for putting it together and taking it apart. And a lot of people get stuck thinking they have to use the tool to push these 2 pins together to get it to break apart. You don't have to have that tool. You can use a handy dandy set of pliers like this. Everybody has these. So if you need to take your chain off, just search for, there's your quick link there. Do you see the quick link? This is the quick link. I'm gonna remove the tension from the chain. That way I can actually get to this. You take your pliers here, and then you go into it diagonally to grab this end, and make sure you're at the spot where you can push against the pin, squeeze together, done. It is possible to do this backwards if you feel like when you're squeezing this together, you're squeezing against like an immovable object. Move over, like switch 180 degrees, try that way. It'll push the pins towards each other, it'll break the chain. And then you can do whatever it is you need to do with your chain. I'm gonna put this one back together. Okay, hack number 2. If you're a weirdo like me and you're like less fond of a locked on grip and you prefer run just a rubber slide on grip, like a BMX grip like I do, then there's a really easy way to get them on and off. And it's with an air compressor. So what you do is you take your compressor attachment like this with the spraying air nozzle, lift up the end of the grip, put your nozzle underneath, and add air. What it does is expand the grip out, making it loose on the bar, and you can just slide it exactly where you want or don't want it. To get it back on, just do the opposite. See the way it expands? The real benefit to doing it this way is there's no like liquids underneath there to create any sort of throttle grip. It's rideable right away. I'm really a big fan of that. I usually do all work on my bikes right before a ride. Understanding, of course, this is a bit of a niche hack. Most people will run a lock-on grip, which is quicker, less annoying, but I'm a weirdo. I run slide-on ODI long necks or Billy Perry grips from Merit on like a lot of my bikes. Most of my... Okay, number 3. This one is the 3-finger rule. It's specific to some of you who might want to start trying to make mountain bike or even any style of riding content. And that is when you have your chesty on, to get the angle right, it's something you kind of have to think about a lot as a new rider. If you have it perfectly parallel with the ground as you're standing, when you ride, you'll just basically get the ground while you're riding. It's super irritating when you go to edit. So the 3-finger rule. Before you lean over, when you get your camera on, angle it up, and if you can get 3 fingers underneath here like this, you're gonna be in about the ballpark for where you wanna be to have decent POV footage that's gonna show the trail, show a little bit of your handlebars, and not be this like headache-inducing, nauseating-inducing angle that no one's gonna wanna watch. They'll be able to actually kind of see where you're going. Allow me to demonstrate. So here I am standing with the camera parallel to the ground as I stand here. The second we drop into the ramp, the camera's gonna be staring at the ground. It's gonna give you a headache. And now the camera pointed up with the 3-finger rule. I've got 3 fingers underneath the camera, angling it up. Should be a lot more pleasant to watch. There you go. Something to keep in mind if you're looking to start mountain bike or biking content. The 4th hack, which is truly the most hackiest of them all, has to do with headsets. And I do it every time it's feasible. When it comes to tapered headsets like on this Mr. Relatable here, the bearings in there will be this tight. And this bearing sits on this. This is the crown race. And the crown race goes on the fork like this. See how, like, it's not all the way down? So you actually have to use a tool to hammer it, like pound it into place, which means it's sort of pressed into place, which means you need like a screwdriver and a hammer to like go around this, or the appropriate tool from Park Tool to get this back off, which is super annoying if you're a serial tinkerer like me and you move forks from and to bikes and change things out regularly for content and to appease your own brain. Now, some headset crown races come slotted. And when they're slotted, it gives you that little bit of room to get them on. There it is, on completely, and off by hand, super easy. So what I do when I get an unslotted one is grab my hacksaw and make my own. Clean that up with the file a little bit to make sure it just doesn't score the steerer, I guess. And now this bearing race goes on just as easy as the one that comes split does. Now I think there's a reasonable disclaimer here to bring up. If you don't have this type of lower bearing, you got like a loose ball bearing headset, don't do this. Do not do this. Okay, those are the 4 mountain bike hacks that I use regularly without thinking. I don't really have any other ones that really come to the top of my mind. I think the rest of them are more like novelty type stuff that you maybe wouldn't use realistically. I've shared and sprinkled most of these throughout the vlogs over the years, but I thought it would be kind of fun to have them all in one spot. I'm probably never going to do another video like this again, because if I start searching for hacks, once again, they become novelties. These are just the ones that I use. And I found out that some people were still learning about them. I figured it was cool to have them all in one place. Okay, see ya.